Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are back in Automation with the Lite Campaign V4.0. Let's play the theme Super Economy focused cars from Fruinian, and we are getting right back into that. Let's see, end of episode 3. Episode 4 today, it seems like. What will Hand-Dieter Krause and his company do? Well, it's not his company, but well, quite the opposite of that. It's looking like we are still having some sales success with the Gurnard, and especially with the Mark II that has just been coming out. This one is still selling well, but this one is selling at a higher margin, so that's quite fantastic. So don't be fooled about the lower sales numbers here. That is, well, maybe be fooled about these ones, because that's actually not being fooled, that's just worse. But, on the other hand, we don't necessarily rely on selling these, because we are doing so well with those. So if we are catering to a higher up market with these, at this kind of margin, then so be it. And we are building up stock quite rapidly too. But yeah, these are doing fantastic work so far. We still have a car in engineering, of course, and it's not being signed off. And that leaves us... Oh, it's ready, though. I just had to rewatch the ending of episode 3 just to be in the know of what was going on. And yes, we were still pondering. And I think I made up my mind as in what I wanted to be trying here. I think with the, we might want to drop the chassis quality slightly and just check out if we can reduce that engineering time, because at the moment it's sitting at 64 months if we don't cut any corners, which isn't too bad, but it is a risk, that is for sure. So what I'm going to try to do here is head back into the model and try to slap on something like -2 chassis quality. Oh yeah, give me those. Give me those, please. Oh damn it. So there we go. And it's not optimized either. Here, chassis, and we go with, let's see, commuter 126 basically. How much do they? They suffer a little. They do suffer a little. Does family suffer as much? Yeah, they do. Okay, but that, of course, is... Let's see how much worse it is. Prestige is going down a lot. Yeah, that's hurting quite a bit. It's probably more about the suspension quality rather than the chassis quality. So I've re-optimized it slightly just for the braking, and now, let's see. Okay. Okay, now we're talking. That is a big difference. That is a mighty big difference. That is worth it. That's 9 months of the engineering time? Yeah, about 9 months. Yes, I think that's definitely worth it. With this, we can squeeze this one out within, let's say, about 50 months. And that is quite promising, considering that we are able to, to really compete with a monocoque chassis that early. It's great stuff. Also, lower costs, of course. Let's lower the tooling slightly. And, no, I don't want to lower reliability, but maybe up funding ever so slightly. Now we're at 52. And do we want to up the pressure? I think we might want to be in the learning for this one, because, well, if we do it again, this is still like 26 or so months, so we don't want to cut corners the second time around. Also, I don't really want to have the reliability penalty, so I'd rather drop this tooling down more, and then even decrease pressure a little bit for extra reliability, and maybe process there. Can we go another step? Yes, I think this is the corner cutting that we need. So 1.5% extra reliability, 50 months only for getting out this new car. Very nice. It's dirt cheap too. This is really good. I think we are on the right path here. So now for the engine. Oh, right. The E52 still needs to be set up in the factory, but that should be pretty cheap. And we definitely don't need to update the factory, the building. Nor do we have to do that for the major tooling. This factory is still overproducing after all. And it's producing at a decent quality too. I would just love to add the quality assurance, but that is 160 million we don't have. Our company valuation, of course, would be enough for a decent loan for this project, but that should become a thing on the car side, not on the engine side. So let's just sign that one off. And well, here we can really do some nice stuff. Hand-Dieter will be pleased to know that there's more in it. So yeah, re-engineering, well, I think we are going for plus 10 tooling. How much does that reduce our costs though per engine? Not that massively. Does it really increase our output that much? I don't think it's worth it, because that is a lot of millions down the drain for very little effect. So maybe we just up the reliability, lower the funding even more, and lower the pressure even more. So that gives us a massive boost to reliability, of course. And, well, not the funding decrease, but the rest does. And we are not upping any of these. So this will be by far the most reliable engine in the lineup of the SE3-800 so far. And okay, we're not underproducing that much. Kind of on top of things there. Or did we switch to a level 2 factory for the car? Let's have another look at this. Oh yes, that's the medium 2. Right. So we are keeping pace with the medium 2 without problems. That's a good thing. Yeah, tooling costs 114 million. And the total cost of changing this around is 441. That is a lot, but we might want to invest into something like maintenance. That would be worth it on the to have on the first one in the model, on the first facelift in the model. Yeah, 150 million. That's a lot of cash. I think that's a little bit too risky, just a bit on the risky side there. We're on the risky side anyway. it's not like that we are sailing smoothly if we take out that kind of loan. What we don't necessarily have to take out a loan quite as big as this, but on the other hand, I want to retain some margin. How much more loan do we have to pay off? Anyway, I think this is pretty solid. I think we can settle on this. Old engine, new car, -2 quality on the chassis just to cut down by the engineering time by 9 months. That is massive. And I think that's totally worth getting the opportunity cost back there for the slightly lower competitiveness. That is 9 months extra of sales while it is still competitive. That is a big difference. So, yeah, I think we are pretty good here. We're pretty good. That is not too massive. Let's just check these numbers. This is the engineering time. So 37.8 instead of, like, what was it, 40, 49 or 50 or almost something like that. That was quite high. And we should be gaining a decent amount of familiarity as well. One thing I haven't done just yet is to add a trim which is a convertible. I think we should be going for that again because we will already have awareness in that category and it would be a shame to let that go to waste. So that will also add some engineering time to the project because every trim added adds another 6 months to it, I believe. Now let's see if that is viable or not. So which one do we take? Doors 2, well, these are more or less the same, aren't they? Same category of car. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. I think one of them is supposed to be a sedan. And the other one is supposed to be a convertible. Not convertible, but a coupe. Because why would you have 2 of the same in there? These are exactly the same. Ah, one is a hardtop, one is a softtop, supposedly, and they don't look it. But, yeah, okay, but a coupe. Let's see if they like it or not. Oh, that's just a two-seater. That might be a bit terrible, actually. Not a fan. Yeah, we do get a 25% seat count penalty for that. And we're supposed to. That is not great. And we don't, the sportiness of this trim is just abysmal, of course. So we won't get anything there. Although we could try to make a quick tune for sportiness. Let me attempt that. Low prestige too. Ouch, okay. Okay, this is quite funny. I can't get it to have any kind of sportiness because our drivetrain performance is just a little overburdening. Minus 90%, we end up at a minus 102.3%, which of course nets you 0 in all cases. And that is not the best. I think Hand-Dieter's super economy engine didn't quite hit the mark in the sports car segment, did it? So then another consideration. If we want to do get into a different market instead of convertible or sport, get into a market which maybe doesn't quite rely on as much power. How about family utility? That might work. Oh no, that's the category with the bug of desired body type. Well, but that hits all competitors as well. We could try that. So skipping on the body, on the correct, having the correct body for the car, but yeah, go for the correct seat number and so on. Yeah, look at that. That is working so much better. 115 on the without any kind of specific tuning. Switching back to our auto-tragic slush box is quite good thing as well. We are ending up at almost 120. Now retune this. Switching back to our other tire setup, just 115s in the front and 135s in the back. That gives us a much better steering behavior. Basically tuning it back to where it was. Also, I stiffen up the springs, but they might want to have stiffer springs because of the load it can take then, the maximum load capacity. So we do need some stiffer springs in this one, but the sway bars are now way too stiff. Yeah, that is looking a lot better, and look at that score. We're getting there. Also, it looks like the overlap is very limited. We do score very well in that segment. And in family, that is our biggest overlap, I think, with the other one, the commuter version of the car. Because it's also, well, this one is a 7-seater, but that's just for the added practicality they desire, which is very high. It's the highest desired stat. So you do want to add some seats in the rear, if you can. So maybe they even like 3 better in the rear. Yes, they do. Okay, good thing I checked. Ooh, our brakes though. Holy shit, they are not optimized yet. There's more score in it. And look at that. With a bit of brake optimization, we are very... Oh, that's the wrong way. We are very close to 147 in that demographic. At this point, of course, that might change with competitors coming out, but that is something that I did not quite anticipate when setting out to design a convertible. So, yep, that was worth checking. And some more little optimization, squeezing out a few points here and there, just setting the drivability to 100%. Nice. That is looking so good. I love it. This should be worth the extra engineering time we put on it. Of course, this means we need to reset up the factories, just confirm that we are building the other trim as well. And their names are going to change, of course. Well, this is just another 3 months. That is something we can deal with. And I'm going to deal with this by just lowering tooling another 5 points. Cutting a few corners there. And then reduce pressure so that it becomes 50. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful indeed. That is good. Additional reliability, cutting a few more corners. We have the medium 2 factory after all. So we're still producing more than we did with the old model. The Gernard, that is. Overall, at a factory efficiency of 72%. Yeah, that's fine in this day and age with these settings, I believe. And okay, the engine is the same in both cars. Very nice and cheap. And wow, that one, the wagon, is really hanging on. Oh, wait a second, it doesn't have any margin on it. So that looks different now, but yeah, yes. We could make it more expensive, but nah, we don't want to. And this is looking super healthy, by the way. Well, factory. Oh, ow, this doesn't look too healthy then. Let's not consider that we're actually upgrading our factory and spending tons of money on it. Because that ups the price so much, as you can see there. I'm going to discount for that and then just do it manually. Also, the tooling doesn't have to be in there. Yeah, I think we're going with this. Just have the engineering costs. Yeah, okay, the engineering costs are covered. Easy. Also, and what it looks like is that our scope of the factory at the moment looks exactly right. And I think what I'm going to do is take the +1. Oh, it's actually lowering it. Okay, well, it's fine. Maybe because they are getting a higher... No, that is a little odd. I thought they were getting a higher margin. I don't know what's going on there, why that would be decreasing. Some automatic algorithm stuff which goes slightly different and comes up with a different value. Anyway, now naming. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, wait a sec. Max shifts? No. We can't have that. Target shifts 1.8. Yeah, no, target shifts 2 is good. We can have max shifts at 2.2 just to increase things slightly. Yeah, that's about right. Although 1.9, a bit more margin there. Doesn't hurt. 15%. Yeah, especially with these ticked off, I think we should have a minimum of 15%. I'm so looking forward to 4.1, Lite Campaign 4.1, where we're basically getting rid of this. It only shows you the margin that you're going to get, or well, that you are getting by setting a fixed price. And that is the fixed price that you're selling your cars to the dealerships to. And then the dealerships are selling your cars and get a nice juicy margin depending on how well the car's doing. And if the margin is large, they are happy and your awareness goes up because they want to sell your cars and not other cars. So that is a nice feedback loop there. Yes, it also gets rid of the ridiculous jumps in pricing because dealers are in competition to each other, so they can't necessarily crank up the price by 80% from one month to the next. And yeah, that's a tangent. And you know me, I like my tangents. The engine still can be optimized a little further, although we don't want to pay for it. So I know we have been through this already, but if we make this one so 944 sum of costs, and then we go here, and that's 910. That is a decent. That's 3%, right? Is that a 3% decrease? I think so. Yeah, roughly. That's pretty good. Also, process that drops it further. And wow, okay, now we're talking increase in engineering time, but that's not that many more millions. So I'm still good with this. This is just 27, but upping it even more for the tooling and such. Yeah, look at that. That's an additional million we pay for very little gain. I don't see why this would be viable in our situation at the moment, with this being the last iteration of this engine. It may come back later on, because we might build a small city car-esque thing, and then this one goes in there as a basis, and we revamp that with new fuel system and so on. But for now, I think we are exactly right here. We produce it for less than $1,000. That is beautiful. Yes, put it in the car, please. And I think we found a name from the auto generator again. It's the woodpecker. Yeah, that's a nice tree huggy name again. Gurnard and the woodpecker, not related to each other, but that doesn't matter. And well, this one is the commuter trim. And to be somewhat consistent in our naming conventions, I think we should call it S for sedan and W for wagon. And then just the year after, and then the facelift. Basically, it keeps it simple, and yeah, let's move forward with this. Just breathe the fresh air before we go, and take a deep breath. That too, before we head over to taking out a loan, because this will be scary. But those numbers are looking great, so let's hope that is actually true. That is a big loan. We have a maximum coverage of just 102%. Holy shit. Okay. We better do well, because this is right at the limit of what our company can sustain. And then the question is, how much do we want to pay? How quickly do we want to pay this back? Because 80 million in interest already there. That is quite insane. I think I'm going with a 100-month loan again. 146, that's a lot, but it keeps us a bit safe. And what I haven't done just yet is to sign off Family 1. I do want to have its engineering time to be matching that of our car, because it needs to be done so that we can facelift immediately and go from there and put it into the next iteration of the woodpecker. And here we have the direct comparison again. So Hand-Dieter has designed that thing for us, and yeah, it's looking good. Lots more power. Doesn't quite rev as high, but the power differential is significant and just required for the cars getting heavier and so on. And still super economical, of course. 16.4%. It's doing well, and that is not the refined version of it. This is just the prototype. Hand-Dieter, what do you think about maybe putting like a 2-barrel carb on this? That is a weird question you're asking me. I don't know. Why would you? You can only use one, so you're struggling with the fuel distribution and you have to lower compression, and that's just no good. If we were able to put two 2-barrel carburetors on there and then make 1 barrel of each really fuel economy sensitive, and then the other one just like normal operation, then I think this would be kinda good. But that's not possible, because this game is fucking stupid and it doesn't allow you to do something like this. So I'm just sticking with the 2-barrel carbs, because that's just a better option here. Alright, the man has spoken. I guess we take that and just move forward. Just check the engineering times once again, so that everything is in order. That is not optimized yet. Oh, and all these sliders are still at 50. That means that we can play around a bit, because we don't need to have the tooling just there just yet. Instead, I want to bring the reliability up, and not necessarily by the reliability, but also via the pressure slider. And that is because I do want to get the familiarity for this one. Like straight up from the get-go, I do want to get the familiarity. And there we have it. Very nice. Okay. So we are sacrificing only the tooling. That should be easy enough to bring up. But depends on what crazy tech Hand-Dieter is going to add in the next episode then, right? But yes, it's a prototype. That's what you expect. So no production. Well, that's all good. So now we have it. This prototype project just cost us 10 mil. So now we have a maximum coverage percentage. This one is covered as well. Right. I think we can pay that one off, like just whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Are we brave enough to sign this off? I think we are. Okay. Well, no, disagree. Let's double check. So we do have 508 million. We have to pay a total interest of 146 million over 100 months. And we have 100% coverage. Are we ready? Yes, sign them off. And then sign that one off without a loan. Peanuts. Scary as fuck. We haven't even advanced a single month this time around. But I think this was still quite a good episode. Not so much Hand-Dieter, unfortunately, but he's going to come back. I think they are going to have an emergency meeting probably next time around, the CFO and the CEO. Mario and, not Luigi, Mario and Alfredo. Already planning at how to blame Hand-Dieter for their failure. With the finances and stuff. But this is looking fine. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed and see you guys next time.